We're live. This is. Oh, people are talking. Where is he? I had comment. Where is he already? Were you talking about me or Jeff? We're both here.
We're both here.
Yep.
I got me a new hat today.
Did you?
Yeah. I was in Lowe's. Look at this hat they had.
This is USA right there.
Yeah.
You went to Lowe's? I had to work all day.
Well, when you work for yourself, you go to Lowe's to buy things.
Well, I work for the county. I did go to someplace and buy myself lunch, though. That happened. That was real. Oh, look. I got a notification that we're now live on the YouTubes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let's turn that noise off.
Hey,
so,
Tim.
Yeah, we've got 6% recycled on. He lives in Michigan. And if you didn't know, hey, Classic Car Revivals is on.
Cars. Some of my favorite guys right there. That's my people.
And we got Bill Cameron on. Oh, gentlemen, he must not be talking to us.
Well, he was talking to me.
Yes.
He said men, plural, so I guess both of us.
Rude. So anyway, the 6%, he competed in this super awesome show last weekend where if he had won, they were going to make his build into a Hot Wheels car.
Oh.
And he finished in the top 5. So that's super awesome.
Wow.
He took a Rambler and a Jeep Cherokee and went like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
cool.
called it the Chambler is what he called it.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. You'll have to check out his channel. He did the whole thing.
Yeah, I need to do that. Let's see. I probably can't do that while we're doing this, though, can I? I better not.
You can if you're advanced in the world of the technology.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have an Honest Peyton Speed Shop shirt, but this is a friend of mine has a shop called Honest Speed Shop. So I wore this in honor of close as I could to you.
You know, I do have some shirts.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You just gotta let me know what size you need, man.
Oh,
I got them right here at the house. You can just you can text me, and I got them here at the house.
Cool. So,
oh, hey, yeah, 6% said that the video for that show is going to be out this weekend. I just think it's so cool that this dude built this super cool thing, and Hot Wheels was like, yeah, maybe we want to build that. You know, that's just cool.
Nice.
Yeah, nobody wants to build Clyde because junk.
Well, I mean, Clyde's had a right. I mean, is that something we?
Yes, I did.
About?
I did have one made for him or of him. Yep, I did have, and then. But I will say, if you haven't checked out any of the videos recently, I know you're building something just super awesome. But Clyde has actually been running right, and I've taken it out, and we did our first burnout. I think I sent it to you, the video of the burnout.
Oh, you did. You did. I thought when it was running right, I thought you better check the oil. That was my first thing. I was like, because there's something wrong somewhere. Well,
actually, coming up on a future one, I give it a physical because of the working properly.
That's a physical. That's good. I'm stealing that one from now on. That's going into the Greezyz repertoire right there.
I checked fluids. I even checked the temperature. Yeah. I gave him a physical.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like Tim's already team Clyding, unfinished project, saying #27. I'm telling you, Clyde's the fan favorite. Bonnie could literally start on fire. People would be like, meh, as long as Clyde's still there, it's cool.
Right. Yeah. Well, when I made that remark about Clyde, it's just because Clyde has an attitude. So if he's running right, then there's something, he's doing it for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, that we laid about 120 feet of one wheel peel out of Clyde. And
well, that's why he's running right, because you're letting him express his emotions on the street.
I'll tell you what, the best part is the neighbor. I leaned out my window. I was like, hey, I'm going to do a burnout and see if it'll do it. And he just gives me one of these. like just like. So I locked them up and I just
Nice.
sent it. Oh, Bill
Nice.
wants me to send Clyde to Michigan. He's running right because Chad is so mean. Well, if he would just do the right thing at the beginning, I wouldn't have to call him junk all the time. So, yeah, pound sign. It's the pound sign on the keypad. You know,
The hashtag.
Yeah, he said pound sign. That's the number sign. No, it's pound sign. Pound. You know, pound sign. Hashtag pound sign. Yep. So, Jeff, I don't have my pen. I can't do my David Letterman. You know, but anyway, if I did, there we go. I wrote them down.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a professional here. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah. This is about as professional as you're gonna get. You know, unless I have like my bowling shirts on that I wear to the county.
Well, I remember, Johnny Carson. He had them written down. You know, he was fairly successful.
Yep, but he actually probably had some talent. You know, he's funny. He was funny.
You don't always have to be funny to have talent, though.
Oh, 6% recycled said Nick needs to pick Greezy's brain about sourcing 1940s Ford front end parts for my Honchero project. You got to check out that Honchero.
Hey, let me tell you what. I've got a 40 Ford Coupe out back here. I would almost just let somebody take out of here for super, super cheap with a full tilt front fiberglass front end. I would love to see that thing out of my way.
I'll give you $30 for it.
Well, that's the starting bid, 30. Let's see where we can get
to. I can't go much further than that. That's all I got. I might have a 5 after that. But.
Okay.
So how did you Dented Dreams Garage. Hello. How are you? I think the first time I've seen you on one of these, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a very good memory. Hey, $30 in a penny, Jeff.
Just keep them coming. We'll see where we end up at the end of the night. We might get rid of it.
Be $30.99. So, how many years did you serve in the Navy?
I was 4 years active.
Okay.
Duty. I served during the first Gulf War, and then got out, and then realized that I thought being a civilian was really what I wanted, but I liked the free healthcare, the free housing, the free. I liked all that free stuff that I didn't have to pay for as a civilian.
Yes,
so
sir.
I thought, well, I'll go back in, and then I was like, nah. Long story short, I ended up spending, I can't remember how many years out, but I ended up going back in as a reservist into the Seabees.
Okay.
My first job as active duty, I was an aircraft firefighter on the flight deck of a carrier. I drove a fire truck. I was a crew leader on a fire truck. That's what I did. Well, I had other jobs. My very first job was building bombs. I assembled bombs and Sidewinder missiles.
Nice.
And I wanted to be an aircraft firefighter, and that's a long story how I got there, but that's why I joined the Navy. So I ended up working my way up and transferring up to crash and salvage. So I did that for my last 3 years of active duty.
Okay.
And then I went into the Seabees.
All right. Yeah, I did reserve, National Guard the whole time, and I got out for 9, almost 10 years. And then I thought, I was like, I've enjoyed my, free time too much.
Yeah.
How could I irritate myself just a little bit more? And so I re-enlisted, and now I'm finally at the end of the year, I'm going to retire. So,
yeah, you're a quitter.
Yes.
That's what I tease him every time that he makes a post. I text him and call him a quitter.
Yep. Yeah. I was an infantryman for the majority of it. My first 6, 7, I was an infantryman, came back in, was going to do, I tried the Officer Candidate program, but I realized I was like 15 years older than everybody, and nobody knew that black socks were okay. They didn't have to just wear the green ones. And so when I realized that, and some of these kids hadn't gotten an MOS, they just went to basic because they were going to be ROTC or whatever.
Yeah.
I was done with that. So I transferred to the Air Defense Artillery, where I was in the battalion admin section.
Yeah.
And I did that for 3 years. Then I came back to an infantry unit where I was an infantryman, but I did the administrative work. Hey, Dan and Dreams, 11B. I was actually at 11 Mike, my first.
So I got a story to tell about the military that I think everybody would find pretty interesting. I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
When we went to the Gulf, when we got deployed to the Gulf, right? You have to go through the Straits of Hormuz when you go through there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the aircraft carrier, the Straits of Hormuz is wide, but it's not that wide for a ship that sits deep in the water. Okay. That channel through there. So the tankers would like to run you aground if they could.
Oh, sure.
You know, that was one of their things. They wanted to run, and they still do it today. So we got smart as we would go back and through and forth through the Straits of Hormuz. Something that people don't know. I'm telling a long story here. Sorry, people don't know is the carrier sucks up salt water. They boil it, do their thing, treat it, make it into potable water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, at that time, the Gulf water was so stagnant and so bad that it was almost impossible to do that to. So we would go in and do our thing, fly the fighter jets and do all that stuff. We'd have to go back out into the Indian Ocean to pick up the water when it was time.
Okay.
So we transported through the Straits a few times. But here's the fascinating part. This is what I thought was fascinating. We took number 5 tin coffee cans and put light bulbs in them. And we would go through the Straits of Hormuz at nighttime, and we would string those coffee cans up strategically so it made us look like an oil tanker. We camouflaged an aircraft carrier going through the Straits of Hormuz so that the real oil tankers wouldn't ram us or try to.
Yeah.
You wasn't going to get. Yeah. And let me tell you something. When you pass those guys and you're in international water, there's, in the Straits there anyway, you passed them. I mean, it was all there was. But anyway, I doubt they could do that today. But that's my favorite military story.
That's awesome.
To camouflage the aircraft carriers.
Yeah. I mean, because they're pretty big. Hey, Den of Dreams, when did you go to Fort Benning, by the way? I was there in 94. So, Jeff, how did you get started working on cars, get interested in cars or customs, that kind of deal?
I built my first car when I was somewhere, I'm not sure the age, but somewhere around 10 years old.
Okay.
I built my first car. It was a wooden soapbox car with strings.
Okay.
That's
how you steered?
Yeah, that's how you steered it. You had strings. Had no brakes. That brakes
are for quitters anyway.
So I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and I grew up in a holler. Okay. So a holler means there's a road at the bottom and then there's hillsides on both sides, right? That's a holler. So we built this car, and my brother and I built it together, and we started fighting who was going to get to drive it down the hill first. Okay. So this was my very first car. This is our very first experience here. So I told my brother, I said, I'm going to let you drive it first, but you have to take it down the hill in front of Grandma and Grandpa's. Instead of going down the hill, the gravel road, he had to go down the hill in front of Grandma and Grandpa's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my brother would not back down from that challenge. But here's the problem. Grandma and Grandpa's hillside was like this. Like this. Okay. All right. And it was not a gravel. It was a briar patch.
Okay.
But he said he would do it. So I said, okay. So we pushed this thing over there to the top of the hill. he gets on it, and I said, wait a minute now, you got to have a helmet. So I went over there to the shed at my grandma and grandpa's, and I grabbed a little tin bucket. And I put it on his head with the metal strap,
Yeah, we've got one outside.
And I said, now, listen, when you get to the bottom, you're going to have to steer right really fast. You're going to have to steer right really fast because there's about a 20-foot cliff there.
Oh, geez.
Through the creek.
Yeah.
And it goes through some huge briars, right? He goes, I got it. So I pushed him. He never got but about 5 feet over the side of the hill. That bucket fell over the front of his face. He let go. He never steered to the right. He went through the briar patch, over the cliff, into the creek. And so, of course, he tore the soapbox up pretty good. But he started laying in the creek, and the creek wasn't very deep. Okay. And he's laying there, and he starts screaming, I can't move my legs. I can't move my legs. Uh-oh. And I'm like, man, quit being a baby. Dad's going to kill us, He's like, I can't move my leg. And seriously, he could not move his legs. He had hit his tailbone so hard that it had bruised and had already swollen so bad that he's pinching off the nerves, I guess, or whatever. And he really could not walk. So, of course, I had to go get Dad, and Dad beat me all the way there.
Well, of course, I mean,
for doing that to my brother. So that was my very first car. That's how we got started, and I cannot remember a time after that I did not fantasize about cars or draw a car or build a model. I mean, I can't remember a time after that.
So that is an awesome. That's an awesome story. That's something my brother would have done to me because he's older than me. So
yeah, well, I was oldest too. Yeah.
What was the first car you ever owned and drove?
And this is terrible for a car guy.
Uh-oh.
But I can't remember.
What?
I can't remember. And this is terrible. I think it was a Nissan Sentra hatchback that I picked up for like $300. But I had a Volkswagen 72 Beetle at the same time, and I can't remember which one of those that I got first.
Okay.
I asked my dad, and he's like, I don't remember. And my brother drove that Nissan. So after I abandoned it, he drove it some. So I think it was the Nissan. And I had a Toyota, wasn't a Corolla. They called them the Corollas, but something. I don't know. It was like a 7. Huh?
Was it a Celica?
No, it wasn't a Celica. Anyway, I had some little old 2-door Toyota at the same time in there too. And so all three of those cars kind of just ran together for me. But
mine was a 66 Barracuda.
Oh, well, I mean, a Nissan Sentra, a Barracuda, whatever,
Yeah. I got a picture of it in my garage. I had it for 21 years.
Well, my brother drove that Nissan Sentra, and it broke down on the side of the interstate. And so he just pulled over and got out and walked off, and the state took it.
Just left it. Fox Can Fix It says, was it a Crescent?
Oh, it was a Tercel. There you go. It was a Tercel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, let me tell you a story about that Tercel. Okay. So that couldn't have been my first car because I was driving that car when I met my wife. Okay, so that couldn't have been my first car. So I'm home from leave, and that car's still in Kentucky when I'm home on leave. And so I met my wife, and I asked her out on a date. It's in February in Kentucky, in the eastern hills, Appalachian hills, foothills of Kentucky, colder than snot, right?
How cold would it be?
Yeah, so it's Valentine's Day. It's how I remember it. So I meet her, and I ask her out on a date. And so I go to pick her up in this Toyota. Now, this Toyota I had wrecked. The front end was caved in on the passenger side, and the passenger side door was all caved in. Okay? So she comes out to get in the car, and she walks to the passenger side. I said, "No, you got to get in on the driver's side." And so I have her get in. She gets in the driver's side like a champ, man. She crawls over, and then I hand her a blanket, and she said, "What's this for?" And I said, "The heater don't work." That was our first date in that car. So yeah. And then she asked me to marry her. I said yes, and it's been the best 30 years of her life.
Yes, it sounds like a storybook.
Yeah.
love story.
Yeah.
It looks like Den Dream said 76 Cutlass. And Fox Can Fix It said Sentra Barracuda, same.
Yeah.
And Does Nothing Special said he had some neighbors once that had a Cressida. Not my first car, but my first one I bought was a rusted out 78 F-150 short bed 4x4. So when I wasn't driving my Barracuda, I had a 74 Dodge half-ton extended cab long box 2-wheel drive with a 4-speed, but first gear, of course, was granny gear.
Yeah.
And 318. Well, the only part
is hard to kill.
Oh, yeah, because I tried. The only parts of this thing that weren't rusty was the hood and the roof.
Okay.
But it had a fantastic heater. The driver's door didn't open from the outside, so I had to get in the passenger side and slide over. And it had snow tires on the back all the time, but they got put on like backwards, so they didn't do anything. And I didn't realize they got put on backwards because my dad was like, "You just drive that, here." And so I got stuck with
bad last words right there. Just drive this.
Yep. And so it started to hemorrhage fluids. I mean, like it was blowing straight oil out of the tailpipes. And so what we do is we would actually talk to people and get them to save their used oil. And so I just put that in there. It was coming out anyway.
Yeah, right.
And so I stopped checking the oil. I'd add some when it hit to 0 on the oil pressure when I was driving. Yeah. I would just pull over, dump a quart in, and if I got above 0, good enough.
Yeah.
Because my dad's like, we got another 318, so just let this one go. So he goes, next time it gets to 0 oil pressure, just drive it. I drove it for a month with 0 oil pressure. And I did check it. There's nothing on the stick, but it wouldn't quit. So we actually just ended up pulling this running 318 out and ended up selling it for, I think, what we bought the truck for, like $200 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I couldn't have done that to the old motor after it lasted that long.
Well, we had one that had like 60,000 miles on it or something. I don't know why he wanted to change that engine. The truck was worth, $8.
Yeah.
But I think he was like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to change a motor. So I bought one.
I bought a 59 F-100 one time that had a 318 in it.
Now they were smart.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that thing ran. Didn't have brakes, but it ran.
Brakes are for quitters.
Yeah.
So let's see. That transmission, I couldn't get it to quit either. The funniest thing about that in the wintertime is I would pull out of the parking lot at the high school and I'd start driving to where, because I grew up on the opposite end of the same road the high school's on. So I would pull out of the parking lot and get to the 15th Street and it would quit at some point in there. It quit around the same spot. So I'd literally just push the clutch in and dump it and and then it would stay running. And then if it was really cold, once the speedometer hit 30, it would just go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Iron Horse, how's it going, man?
I guess the only other Dodge I had a oh man, I've lost the name of it. It had a 318 in it, or a 360 in it. I remember it had Corinthian leather seats.
That's a Cordoba.
That's what it was. I had a Cordoba. Yeah, had a 360 in it, about 2 miles to the gallon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And LaRon, Montalban. He did the Corinthian leather commercials.
Yeah.
I can't remember his first name, but Mr. Boss from Fantasy Island.
I bought that out of an old man's garage that couldn't drive anymore for $400.
And I bet the thing was like perfect.
Oh, it was perfect. It was perfect. My wife drove it back and forth to work forever. Yeah. I called it my Al Bundy car. I don't know why, but it just reminded me of Al Bundy.
He had a Dart.
Yeah, but it's still
okay.
Like something.
It probably had the same motor in it.
It looked like something he would drive.
So, speaking of cars, what's your favorite movie car?
Man,
Yep.
wow. Gosh, boy, that's hard to get me to not have something to say.
Well, I don't think we've ever talked for less than an hour on the phone.
No. Let's see.
If you can't narrow it down, you can give your top 5 if you want.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, Knight Rider. I mean, that just fascinated me. I took cardboard and I made a dash and I recorded different sayings on a little, remember them little tape recorders and little flat things, that I can't remember cassette.
I probably still have one in a box.
Yeah. And so I would record the sayings, and then in this box, I rigged up this thing where I could hit a button and a weight would fall down and hit play.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to the car.
And it would say stuff to you like.
Yeah. So I just recorded a bunch of sayings, but there's no way I could pick one, but I would say the most influential one for me at the time as a kid would have been Knight Rider. Now I'm more into the old school hot rod. So, the Milner, Dukes of Hazzard, that was another big one generally.
Yeah. Can't forget Smoking the Bandit Trans Am.
Yeah. Man, I had an opportunity to buy one of those for $400 one time, and I am kicking myself.
You should be.
Yeah. But back then, nobody, cars weren't.
They were just, they were just 400.
Yeah, they were just sitting in somebody's front yard for $400, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I would say, Knight Rider, generally, the Milner, Starsky and Hutch, the Torino. Yeah. That was even though I'm sorry to all the Torino fans, but it's kind of an ugly car, but it is iconic. It did have
an ugly car.
Yeah. And then, that'd be my top, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like Denna Dream said the Tokyo Drift Monte Carlo, but he's partial to first gens. Oh, yeah. Iron Horse said generally in the 18 van.
Oh, the 18 van, I forgot about. Oh, another one that I tell you what I dreamed of as having a kid was, and I don't even know it, to be honest with you, I'm not even familiar with them that much, but the Monte Carlo that Denzel Washington drove in Training Day.
The 79, yeah.
Yes, I love that body style. That's hard for a Ford guy to say.
Yeah, I mean it's a good looking car.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we have it. Yeah, that's so. You forgot Christine. Sam.
I was thinking about that, but Christine was kind of a bad girl. So
reminds me of Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree with you. Definitely the Milner Coupe. New guy's guitars on. Hey man. But yeah, the Milner Coupe can't beat a Deuce Coupe. I mean, that doesn't matter.
Right. I've got one out here I'm building right now.
I thought you were going to send that one to me.
I could. Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that?
We did, but the check hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, you didn't say that I had a check. You just said you were going to send it to me.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about it offline.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I can say no offline too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, just for that, you can't have Clyde then. Actually, I don't think anybody wants that thing.
I'd probably trade you for Clyde.
The body? I can't give you the whole Clyde.
I got the frame and everything for that thing. The Bullet Mustang, yeah, that's true. Oh, and I tell you another favorite. I'm sorry, we're going backwards here.
Oh, that's fine.
It's an ugly car too. It is, but it was really, really cool. Was the first Gone in 60 Seconds Mustang, the very first movie.
Oh, the yellow or
Yeah.
tan or whatever.
Oh yeah,
71
that
or
was a
whatever it was.
cool car too. I mean, they tore up so many cars in that movie.
Yeah, they did. Another really good tearing up cars is the Blues Brothers movie. I think they destroyed more cars.
Oh, that's another iconic movie car, right?
Right.
It was dark. We're wearing sunglasses, half pack of cigarettes on a mission for God.
And then hit it. There's not too many people that know that anymore.
I know.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Where's this world coming to? So do you have a dream car, Jeff? One that you've always wanted that you haven't had?
That list is too long to name them. That list is too long to name them. But I have one that got away.
Okay.
That if I was going to put it at the top list right now, would be a 70 to 72 Olds Cutlass convertible. And there's a reason for that, because I was maybe just out of high school. I can't remember if I was, or I was just graduating. I can't remember, but I was on my way home from work, and I went by this used car lot, and they had one there, an Olds Cutlass convertible. It was a 72, last year, the convertible.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love. They wanted $2,000 for it, and I drove it home. And I had this whole speech worked up when I got home. I was like, Dad, look, I will do all the extra jobs. I will work everywhere. I got to have this car. I wasn't even able to get one word out of my mouth. And he's just pointing,
Get it out of here.
Yeah. Never wanted to hear anything about it or whatever. And I was like, oh, so it may not be so much the car for me, I guess, is it's that I couldn't have it and I wanted it so bad, and it's the one that got away.
Yeah.
So I every now and then I'll start browsing Facebook Marketplace or something, like that. But if that would probably be at the top of the list.
Well, right now I've got my hot rods, of course, but if I do find a 66 Barracuda again, and I found one. My car was white. I had tan and white interior. The car was actually tan from the factory, but it had the bronze stripe on it. I found the build sheet. I still have it here. I did not send it with the car when I sold it.
Yeah.
So I still have it around somewhere. And but when we went through junkyards and I could tell you where I got every chunk of that car. And well, I asked my dad was like, well, I hope you like white, because that's the cheapest color. And I'm like, hey, white sounds good.
White.
And we put a single black 4-inch stripe down the middle of the car. And
you got to.
And then had just the tape pin stripe down the side just to break up all that white.
Yeah.
And so I found one last summer, late summer, and it was white. Had the black pinstripe, didn't have a stripe on it, but I'm like, I know where I can get someone to put a flat black 4-inch stripe on it, and I could pretend that it was my car. But it had all black interior, and it was a 6-cylinder. But I was like, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. So I talked to the dude, and he's like,
was that the slant 6 then?
Yeah, it was I had the Commando 273. So the 273 with 235 horse, 10.5 to 1 compression, solid lifters. I still have the original carburetor and air cleaner out my shop.
But you don't know anything about it though.
What?
The engine, you don't know anything about.
Nothing. I don't know how to. No. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. No, I never actually saw one. I didn't open the hood.
Yeah. No. Of course. Yeah. You just made up all those numbers. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But
those engines are hard to kill too.
I took a head gasket out of it. So.
Oh wow.
And I had a stripe of antifreeze like this running down the outside of the block. So I was like, that's bad.
Yeah.
And then
I've done several Ford big block 460s that way in my day drag racing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know.
So I put a 340 in it. That was just way too much for that car. And had these skinny little tires on it. And it took absolutely just breathing on the fuel on the throttle to just smoke show.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I will have another one, but I have to part with one of the hot rods first. And
how many years did they make the 340?
They made it. They started in like 60, because the Commando 273 ended in 67. So I think 67, 68, they came out with the 340 in the Barracuda, and it went until the 360 74.
So it lasted longer than I thought then.
Yep. It's just that that 340 wedge motor didn't last very long, but the 340 hung around.
Yeah. Now is the 360? So I mean, I'm not a Dodge guy, so I'm trying. The 360, is it just a stroked out 340?
Basically.
Is that what it is? Basically, like what Ford done with the 289 to the 302, you know, kind of a thing, stroked it out. Okay.
But the 360 was just gutless compared to the 340.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that 360 had that Cordova got like 2 miles of the gallon and wouldn't get out of its own shadow, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you could get a lot of. Well, the other thing is, it wasn't internally balanced, so you had to have the right torque converter. So you couldn't just take a 360 and put it in something. You had to. It was a lot more of a,
yeah, I got you.
It wasn't like, when we pulled the 273, put a different stall in the torque converter, and we slid the 340 in there. I mean, it's not like that. If you have a 360 and it's an automatic, you got to get that torque converter, or you got to find one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I know I have a lot of Fords out there, but it's Mopar or no car, and it has been for since I was 13.
Wow. Yeah. No wonder Clyde has an attitude.
Well, and it's a Chevy motor too, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you just made everybody mad.
Well, I didn't put it in there. I'm just trying to make it run right. But my black one, my 28 does have a 347 stroker in there. And that's that one is, for looking mild mannered, that one's way more rowdy than Clyde ever could be.
Yeah.
It's got well over 400 horse and 400 foot-pounds of torque on those skinny little bias plies I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Banging Gears is on. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, this is a hard-hitting question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. How did Greezyz come about? Where did he come from?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. You talked, let's see here. I don't even think I got my Greezyz teeth laying around here anywhere.
What? I thought for sure he'd be on tonight.
No, I don't see them at all.
Oh. Well, I talked to him the other day on the phone.
Oh yeah. Oh, now he can come out. I just don't have any. I don't have my Greezyz teeth. I don't know how many of your viewers have actually really seen Greezyz.
Have you guys ever seen Greezyz? Put it in the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen your pictures, and I post this, and when I'm shoving those grip wipes down everyone's throat because they're so fantastic.
Yeah. Oh man, I love those grip wipes. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I don't think anybody who's ever watched any of our videos would think that I like them.
No.
Considering that you can literally see multiple containers of them around in case I need one. Yeah, those are my favorite.
Yeah. So Greezyz came about. I'm embarrassed that I don't have my teeth sitting here because normally they're sitting right here. But anyway, just imagine Greezyz with some hillbilly teeth in, one tooth missing, his hat sideways. Here, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So that character came about. So good. I'll try to make this short. That character came about by us drag racing and crew chief Rick, a Vietnam veteran, going with us, and he's the crew chief for the race team. But if there was a piece of shade somewhere, and there was a chair available, The chair was in the shade and he was in it asleep. Okay.
Yeah, he's not dumb.
Yeah. So, well, he actually became more popular than anything because I would take a picture of him and post it up on, and then one day I made a joke about, hey, we're firing the crew chief. You can't quit taking naps,
Yeah.
And so a friend of mine made a sticker and put it on my trailer the next race that said crew chief needed. And so I was working in the corporate world then, and I came home one day, and on my back door to the house, there was this letter, and it had grease prints all over it. And it said, it had grease prints all over it, and it was from a man named Greezyz.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that, and it was so you couldn't read it. It was such bad English. And grammar and punctuation.
Yeah.
It was just bad. And and Greezyz even says in his letter that he had his fiance write it for him, that he wanted to apply for the crew chief job. And so one day I just made a video and I put those buck teeth in and got a red, white, and blue trucker hat and turned it sideways, said America on it. And I just done a video. And that video went just crazy. It was like a 45-second video. It's like Greazy's got it. He's like, hey, around here we do America. We got American cars, we got America 2s, and then it just went like that. And then I just gave it the old salute at the end, and hi, Peyton. Hi. And so that's how the character Greezyz came about.
Okay.
So it would only make sense that Greezyz would need a bar of soap.
Yes, and that's the one you held up. Smells just
awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's how we got that company started. I worked with a manufacturer for close to a year on perfecting this. To get it where I wanted it to be, and we even call the scent. It's called America scent.
Mm-hmm. That
smells
good.
Smells just like America. Now I have a lot of people that actually buy these. I've got one. I listen to this. I've got one guy that buys 3 bars of soap at a time, and he will use 2 in the shower. He showers with them. I do too, but I don't wash I'm just washing my arms and hands, in the shower. But
right.
And then he sets one beside his chair because he likes the scent.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna say that when you sent those, I didn't even unwrap one. I just had it around.
Yeah. Well, and then Scott Ferguson, a friend of mine up in Michigan, he cuts them up and puts them under the seat in his cars.
I'll tell you what, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and let me say this, because the scent is so popular, that's my own scent. That scent is something that I created. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have tried to take that same scent and create it and put it in a car air freshener, and I cannot.
You can't get it to work?
There's something about with the rest of the ingredients in here, how it gives it that scent, that it's just not transferring over to a piece of felt or something. And and so I have tried. And we actually brought out some car air fresheners for a while. We called them America car, freshener. And we just gave them away as promotions. We never really sold them. But I'm going to bring that product line back, I think.
Well, I was going to wear my trucker hat, but it's been out in the shop, and so it smells like exhaust. And when there was one day I put it on, and I'm like, what stinks? Like it's like I didn't even run the cars. And then I took it off, and I was like, oh, it's me. And then of course I just put it back on. Oh,
of course, yeah. I've got like 10 of them out in the shop because every time I shoot a video, if I'm going to do something, I throw one on, and and I normally throw one. I usually have one sitting around here. I'm just not very well prepared tonight. No greasy teeth and no America hat. We sell the hat.
I did. Maybe I didn't give you enough time. I only sent you the reminder yesterday. Maybe I should have.
Oh yeah. Full disclosure, people. If you're going to book me for something, you got to send it. You got to send me the invite about a half hour before, because I'll forget. He
But the
sent me.
best,
He said, like, here's your link. He sent it like 6 months ago. Here's your link for
I
Wednesday.
sent it on Sunday.
And I'm like, dude, you gotta have to tell me the day of.
Because when you're like, hey, can you send me that link again? It was literally the third text message up.
He's lying, y'all. He's lying.
Well, shall we see?
Oh no, he's faking it. He's faking it.
It was literally like the third one up.
And then I sent him back and I was like, I need that on my computer, not my phone.
Yeah. And then he's like, what time, my time, am I supposed to be on?
Oh yeah, I did text him. I was like, what time was that today?
And I'm like, 8.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's why I gave you the warning yesterday, like, hey, it's happening. I figured right after I get done with work, I'd be like, okay, you got you got 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Christopher C says he's a time traveler. He can relate 5 minutes, 5 days, all the same.
Yeah. Same for me.
Oh, let's see. Hey, why did you start making the hand care products? Why'd you? I know the soap and.
Yeah, I could take that story several different ways. I mean, you know what? I'll go with the complete 100% truth, because I could go several ways with the truth. But here's the real truth. In about 2017, I started struggling with some PTSD stuff from the military, and I was really having trouble just functioning in society. And so I needed a way to make a living because I was not doing well. I was not healthy. I was not, things weren't going well for me. And you can either just roll over and give up, or you can try something. And I thought, the Greezyz kind of thing came along, and I thought, well, why don't we start the soap company and this bar of soap, and see if I can't make some money off of it and have a job where I can work from home, And so that's kind of really where it got started. And then now, I have my, hot rod shop. So that's where I make most of my money. So I use all the money that we make from all of our products. I got our soap, I got our hand repair balm, our knuckle butter, and our grip wipes.
Oh, the grip wipes. Yeah. You know what? You should just store all your grip wipes up here.
Yeah. I know that's what you probably should think, but so anyway, I use all that money now. I hire veterans here at the shop. I hire like I've got a homeless veteran, that's here right now. He's living here with me, and he's in my office that I'm sitting in. He sleeps here. And then I use all the money from this to be able to pay those guys. I mean, it's I can't pay them a lot, but I can pay them what I can. And we keep them when they're homeless and don't have a job and they're unemployable. It's better than nothing. And so
for sure,
some work out, some don't. So this guy is this guy here now. Right now, I may hire him full time, because he cannot out. I mean, you can't outwork him. There's nobody I know of that can outwork him.
That's awesome that you found that you're able to help everybody like that.
Yeah. So we use the money for that.
The knuckle butter, I'll tell you, that stuff it smells awesome. But my sister-in-law, they used to call them beautician or whatever, she cuts hair. Because her hands are always wet. And so her hands get really chapped and they crack and bleed. And that's the stuff you sell is the stuff that has the only stuff that's worked.
Yeah. Well, I tell you how that stuff came on. That stuff came along. Now, legally, I'm not allowed to say this, so I'm breaking the law, I guess, right now. But here's what happened. My wife had eczema so bad for years on the back of her hands. I mean, forever. And she was trying the what's the stuff in the green can? I can't remember. The Working Hands, the Duke Cannons, Bloody Knuckles. We had bought it all, and that real expensive stuff you can get on Amazon or whatever. All the dermatologists recommended, the Nuve or something. I don't know, something. Anyway, we tried it all, and couldn't get rid of it. And they tried prescription strength stuff, wouldn't get rid of it. And I said, you know what? I think I can make something that would help. And so I did a bunch of research, and I ordered a bunch of different ingredients. I mean, my kitchen counter from one end of the kitchen to the other was full of ingredients, and I was just mixing this, try that. And I came up with a formula that did away with the eczema on her hands. So I thought, well, we could add this to the line for mechanics. And
it's great stuff.
Yeah, Chris Bishop up there, a lot of people, he lives up, I can't remember the name of the city. He's in your home state or next state. I can't remember, whatever. But anyway, he had a mechanic there that it looked like you'd taking razor blades and cut his hands. It was so bad. Yeah. And I gave him a truck. I gave Chris Bishop a truck. I said, I got a little Colorado truck down here. If you'll come and get it, you can have it. Yeah. I'll turn it into a drag car. So he sent this guy down here, and I gave him a jar of this. And I said, now put this on your hands, but I'm going to give it to you, but you got to make me a deal. You got to take a picture of your hands every day for the next 2 weeks, and let's see how it does. Yeah. 3 days later, he gets back up there, and he says, I can't send you pictures, man. I'm sorry. Hey, hammer wrench. And I'm like, dude, why? And he's like, my hands are already healed. Yeah. My hands are already healed. I can't send you no pictures. So so I was like, oh, that's freaking awesome. That's amazing, And so his hands, I didn't even think I didn't think these would do anything. I didn't really. Honestly, I was like, that's just too bad. I'm not sure that this is going to do that, what I think. And 3 days later.
I'll tell you what, I used it on when my tattoos were getting really dry and I would just take a little bit, and I'll tell you what, they did great. And my wife yelled from the other room, it's not greasy either. Yeah.
And you know what? I tell you what, I've done and made a mistake. Let me tell you the secret ingredient in it, which I should put on the outside of it, actually. But it's a eucalyptus mint scent. But the secret ingredient that I put in it that really is aloe vera. Yeah. Aloe vera. So I don't make this at my home anymore. This is made in an FDA approved facility, and it's all made there now. But the mistake I make is I give you 7.5 ounces for the same price as everybody else gives you 5. And it works so well, and it doesn't take a lot to work. It doesn't. Well. And so people buy it and use it for the year. And I should make it in 3-ounce jars.
Well, we have, let's see, my sister-in-law tried ours. My wife used it. I use it. Peyton's used it. And we still probably have half of it left. Yeah. It does not take a lot.
Yeah. But it's a great Christmas gift. So order a bunch.
Yeah. Use the coupon code. It's in the thing.
Yeah. I had a semi-tractor trailer mechanic send it to me. Send me a video. He said, I ran out of polish for the headlights, so I put some of this stuff on there and it polished the headlights. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I use it for everything. Women shave with it. I was like, why are they shaving with it? And so I tried it, which I don't shave very often. But I shaved with it, and I was like, oh, my gosh, that is I can see why. that felt good.
Yeah. Oh, and we have room for one more. Always. That's the answer in the service is like, how much room you got? One more. It's always one more. Yeah. Classic Car Revival said he likes all the products. Yes, Tim, you need to order some of that knuckle butter. Oh, and Tim even said the grip wipes are incredible. They are. Yeah.
Oh, Classic Car Revivals did a video on it.
Yep. Yeah. I literally
I sent some to Whiskey Dent. So if tell your brother if he's done the video on it, I didn't see it. He needs to get on the ball.
Yeah, he has he's poked them out, not like this where I'm like shoving the thing in the camera.
Yeah, I need you to be a little bit more enthusiastic about the grip wipes, if you would.
Yeah. I my favorite one that I've done is where we don't bow to any sponsors. Yeah. So I'm like rubbing the hat and pointing at it. Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah. Oh, and then recently where I'm like shoving.
Yeah, just like
yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and all of our products are made right here in America.
Yeah, and Peyton likes them too. So that's two things right there. Oh, Mofo, hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. And back to the questions.
Yeah,
Another hard hitting
probably
one.
taking too long anyway. I'm sorry.
No, this is your time.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. What? This is probably gonna be a long list.
Okay.
One of the favorite builds that you've done. If you can think of one.
Well, every time I build one, it becomes the favorite.
How about this? Do you have a least favorite one that sticks out where you're like, I hate this thing, get it out of here?
No.
No.
I mean, I liked them all. You know, my Model A was like like my 30 Model A Tudor. You know,
Yep.
I put a flathead in it. That but I got to tell you, this freaking America truck that I'm building right now. I mean, I've went a total different direction than what I would normally go. You know, I went modern suspension, modern brakes, modern. You know, I mean, I'm putting cruise control on a 1964 F100. You know, I mean, I'm going that different direction. I want this to be I want this truck to be a something. You know, I'm trying to build a brand new 2025 truck. Just looks old. You know.
Well, this actually leads me into the next question. Tell us about your current build. So
yeah, that's the Project America truck. You know, I mean, I know you've seen pictures of it, Classic Car Revivals. He and I, you know, we text back and forth, me and him, and Whiskey Dents, you know, quite often.
I don't share your pictures because I'm like, I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, I'm not ready to show them, but I share them with you all.
Yeah.
But you know, wait till you all see the paint job on this thing. So I left this thing completely patina. It's just patina, and it's not even a pretty patina, to be honest with you. It's an uglier patina truck. But I got the truck for free. You know, I think I can't remember if we talked about that last time we talked, but you know, a drug addict come by here and was like, "Hey, they're pulling my truck away. Guy moved. You can have it if you'll go get it." And I went and got it. Okay. So anyway, hey, there's Diecast Dream. Hey.
Yeah, there's Vic. He said it's lovely.
Vic. So anyway, I got this truck for free. So but anyway, the patina on this thing was not that great. The hood was horrific. And I was sanding on the hood, and there was blue under that turquoise. And I turned to my buddy and I said, "That's just America trying to come out." And then the light bulbs went off. And the light bulb went off in his head first. And he was like, "Well, why don't we just do America on it?" So we painted America. So here's what I did. And you all can see the video coming soon. It'll be coming out. But I took and painted red and white stripes down the hood and painted a blue banner across the front. And then I covered that all completely back up with the turquoise. And then I sanded all the way back through the turquoise so it looked like we had found the American flag under the paint. And that was America trying to come out.
I'll tell you what, I've seen the pictures. It's fantastic.
Freaking awesome.
It is great.
And Diecast Dream Customs there is building me my own version, you know, diecast Hot Wheel car for it. And I don't know if that's his wife or girlfriend. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. The one that does the paint, huh?
Foggy? It says boss.
Foggy. Huh? That's boss. Okay. Well, the boss, they asked me when they was building it, "What are you going to?" Because you know they're trying to build the diecast car for me, and I don't even have the truck finished. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Do something funny on the seat. Do something that you think would flow with the seat or whatever. I may copy it. I don't know. Well, she painted the seat red and white stripes to match the hood.
Oh man, that's cool.
And I fell in love with it. And so the seat's at the upholsterer right now, and it's copying exactly what they put in the truck. He's putting the blue on the outsides with the red and white stripes to flow with the hood.
Yeah.
And I just painted the interior. It's got 351 Windsor and a go of that stuff. If y'all go watch the build on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you guys need to watch that.
Yeah. And this video, I painted the interior of the cab. I made my own grayish blue color. I call it the Greezyz Civil War, and it's a gray and blue color. And that freaking gauge cluster, I painted that to offset that a little bit more silver metallic gray kind of thing.
Yeah, that gauge cluster is awesome.
I mean, because you get to see all the inside stuff, right? Because I send it to you all the time. And sorry to the Bowden brothers there. I haven't sent you all pictures up. I'll do that tonight. But anyway, it's got a 2023 Mustang IRS rear end, Crown Vic front end. I mean, 351 Windsor overdrive. I mean, it's just, I'm in love with that truck. So
I'll tell you what.
And I've already been offered to buy it. People's trying to buy it from me already.
Isn't that your shop truck though? Isn't that what you're going to do with it?
Yeah, but I like money too. I like green a lot. So
well, I suppose when you build the next one, you just paint that one green.
You know what? I got two more sitting out here beside the garage I just drove home. 264s. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I paid for one of them and the other one was free.
Even better.
Yeah.
I've just got junk and one good one.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We should give Diecast Dream Customs a shout out right there because that dude freaking killed it.
He did Bonnie and Clyde, and it looks like he did Hammer Wrench. I know he's done a bunch. He did New Guys Garage. He did. Didn't he do 6% too?
Let me ask something. Let's put something out to your audience and see what they say.
Yeah.
I was thinking about having the Project America truck and having Diecast Dream Customs build me like a limited run of them, like maybe 50 or something like that, and number them. And then I'll take the proceeds and all that, and then I will we can use the proceeds from that to help these veterans that that we're working around here. Because let me tell you something, a lot of these veterans I have working for me, the VA is screwing them over so bad. All right. I mean, the VA is screwing them so bad. Let me tell you something about veterans. If you go to try to get your benefits from the VA, they'll send you packing. So you got to go through the civilian world to get it done. You have to. You got to get civilian lawyers. You got to go through civilian doctors. All that costs money, and we're paying for all that. A lot of that. We're paying for those doctor bills and everything. So I was going to try to sell those. Maybe do a limited run and use the proceeds and to help pay for some of these guys' medical bills and stuff. You can't get more America than that helping veterans. No.
And, you're talking about the applying. Well, I'm putting my packet together and I met with the county veteran service officer and he's just like, well, we're going to need this and this and this and this and this before we even can put it in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? And those guys, the VA is not going to give it to you. You got to go through the civilian doctors.
And that's what all of my stuff is civilian doctors.
That's right. You have to.
I've been keeping track of everything since I came back in 2011, all the way up till now that I'm going to retire.
Yep. Yeah, you have to. Yeah. I mean, it's a,
yep.
I mean, it's a crap show up there. Every time you go up there.
Well, plus, not only that, I mean, you send them all this evidence, and then they send you to another doctor to verify that is all right.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 saying that they're in.
All right. Yeah, because what I could do is I could put those out, and then we could pre-order. Right, we'll just do a pre-order, and then that way we'll know. And then however many we sell in the pre-order. Then that will be the limited run. So if we sell 6, it's 6. If it's 25, it's 25. I'm getting number 1, by the way.
Yeah. Does that work, Vic? Since you're the one who's going to have arthritis when you're done.
I've already talked to him about it. He already knows.
He's already doing this.
Yeah. 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 I'll tell you something else I'm going to have Vic do too. Is I'm going to start doing like what you're doing here, and I'm going to take Project America truck around and going around to veteran shops and interview them about their cars.
Yeah.
Like veteran. And then I'm going to have him build their car as a diecast and then present it to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna try maybe 5 or 10 veterans like that and see how that works out.
Better, I'm telling you, Vic, you better just start and get Foggy some new brushes, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Vic, Diecast Dream Customs is going to be bringing out a website here pretty soon too, so you'll be able to go on there and check them out and check out all the builds. And
and when Foggy did all the patina on Clyde, I'm looking at the roof and I'm looking at on the car and I'm looking at the roof on my car and I'm like,
yeah.
The only thing that I don't think came through in the pictures I sent was the little bit of brass that could, where they could see that it had been brazed. Oh, Classic Car Revival said, for every one you sell, he'll donate $5.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. And Vic said, oh, if he can afford new brushes.
Yeah. You take Classic Car Revivals and Whiskey Dents.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys right there. I mean, there's been a lot of influential people, but those people right there kind of tucked me right up and under their wing when I started the channel, because they knew you and they knew some other guys, and then Tim Windsor came along, and they're like, and so they just keep,
yeah,
and so that's awesome, and that he would do that. So
I remember you asked me, like, Tim Windsor said he was going to send a bunch of my subscribers. I'm like, yep, that's going to work. Just wait.
Yeah, that's what you said. I was like, is he going to go pay everybody or what?
Like,
I'm just kidding. But
listen, he'll get on a live. Next thing you know, you'll have 10, and then there'll be someone who comments, "Hey, Tim sent me," and then here's 20 more. And I mean, it goes from, and he's like, and then you'll get a message saying, "Hey, I was just in a couple of lives, and it sounds like a bunch of people are coming." Right before we hit 1,000, we were like 50 short.
Yeah.
And Tim sent me a text. He's like, "Hey, how close are you?" I was like, "I need 50. By the end of it, we had 60. We did a live, and it was happening.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because we used to do lives a little bit more often. But I'll tell you, he's just like, hold on. And then it happened. We had, I think by the end of when we hit 1,000, we actually hit 1,010 at the end of it, because he was just, I don't know what he did. He sent up smoke signals, carrier pigeons, whatever.
Yeah. Well, see, I just looked. I'm at 276 subscribers, so I'm killing it.
Hey, man. When I subscribed to you, I don't think you had 90. I don't think you had 90 when I.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Subscribed.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, not everybody can be, Classic Car Revivals and Whiskey Dents. Oh, and look at that. I'm still sending him your way, Chad. See that? Him.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna put a comment. Hey, 47 people are coming today, and I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. I have one last written down question.
Okay.
What is on the horizon for Greezy's Garage? What's coming up? If you can share it.
Oh, I've been working hard trying to do the with the hot rod shop and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
But I think I kind of gave it away a little bit as far as not build wise. One of the things that people don't know that I do a lot here is I have a contract with a limousine company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And so I'm building like 15 vintage antique limousines for him. And so I do that a lot, but I don't really put that up on the channel or Facebook very much, because I mean, it's kind of business kind of a thing. So, but that's something that I do. But I guess what's really big coming for me is I would like to really try to get Project America done, and then my wife and I take it on vacation.
Heck yeah, there you go.
So I'm looking at vintage campers right now. I'm trying to find a 1964 vintage camper, because those were painted in that kind of same turquoise color back in the day. I'd like to find one like that, or maybe paint the turquoise strip down the side of it. And
I'll bet you Classic Car Revival's probably has 6 of them in his yard.
Really?
Have you seen the collection he's got of stuff in his yard? Man,
I haven't been paying attention.
He's got like 38 trucks in there.
You think he's got some vintage campers in there?
If he doesn't, he knows where there's some. I can guarantee it.
Well, I don't want one I have to restore because I'm kind of the time I don't have time for restoring one.
I'm telling you. Peyton wanted to say goodnight to everybody. She's going to bed. She's tired. She's been working at a glass.
Oh, glass shop. Life.
Yep. She actually, her first week, it was like the third day on the job. She goes, is it normal if I feel like I don't want to go to work? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
She said goodnight. She's got the cat.
Yeah.
But he said he doesn't have any campers.
Yeah.
Vic said sleep well. Tim said goodnight, Peyton. Everybody say goodnight.
Yeah.
But no campers. I don't know where any are.
Yeah, they're around, but man, people are proud of them. They're going to be pricey.
I saw a sweet like 70s Winnebago that was all angular with the big green W on the side.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, hey, Greezy could be cousin Greezy Eddie.
Uncle cousin, huh?
Yeah, Uncle cousin Greezy Eddie. The pooper's full.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
You know what, Jeff? You answered all my questions.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a test afterwards.
Yes, there's a test. It's multiple guess. My wife said something to me. I couldn't hear it because I'm deaf.
I said, see if anybody else has questions for him.
Oh, does anybody else have questions for him? She was on my bad side, my right side.
Now, I don't know about all the other veterans and you when you're in here, but we had a thing in the Navy when you took a test. We had this saying called "When in doubt, Charlie out." So everything was C.
My favorite is when the instructor would be telling you something, and then they'd start tapping their foot like, "You might want to know this for the test."
Yeah.
Or they write it up on the board, and you're like, "Remember this saying right here." And then there was one test like, "Hey, question 14. The answer is B, but the correct answer is C, but you need to select B." Because you'll get it wrong. And we're like, what?
Hey, do you know what my very first test in the military was? When I went to boot camp, which foot's your left foot?
Really?
Yeah. Well, we had guys marching because, for the people that are not in the military, you start off with your left foot when you march. And so half of our freaking company had a big old L with written down on their toe with shoe polish.
So the division director for the county that I work in, he's a retired lieutenant colonel. So we were walking in yesterday morning and talking, and I looked down and we were in step.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. So he, the county, they want you to be talked to like you're a person, Yeah. And so he was trying to county speak me, and I shut his door and I was like, "Kurt, you're an officer, retired." He said, "Yes." And I'm an NCO. Just tell me what you want. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
if you give me some job that I'm not going to want to do.
Yeah.
But if it's BS, I will tell you it's BS and still do it. Just say what you want, man. And he goes, "Oh, thank God." He was that he didn't have to do I'm going to hurt your feelings. Oh, Classic Car says good night. He's out of here. Have a great evening. You too, David. I'm sure there'll probably be some text shenanigans later. There always is.
Yeah, I'll text him some pictures.
Yeah, I'm not going to text you. I got them right here.
Yeah.
Double top secret probation kind of pictures. I mean, they're deep.
Oh God, I've got two buddies, man, that just they have went on a text rant while I've been on here.
Oh geez.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I guarantee you, every one of them is going to make you pee yourself when you read it because it's going to be so funny.
Those are my favorite. So when we got a new I was in headquarters platoon because, I was part of the staff and, doing the administrative work, and then training was in there and supply and the mechanics, right? So the training NCO, and I was the admin NCO, well, he would send out texts like, hey, make sure you report blah, 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 blah. And then it was usually me or another full-timer that would literally start shenanigans immediately.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It would be, hey, we're in building, blah, 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 blah. And be like, yeah, so's your mom. And,
Well,
or,
one guy is rather short, and so I'm usually the one that's making the short jokes, picking at him.
Uh-huh.
And then the other guy is Mexican.
Okay.
And so the short guy is always making the Mexican jokes. And then I tend to be the moderator.
Well, the thing is, like, in that group, I was the oldest, and I was the one who was probably behaving the most immature, making fun of people's moms and stuff,
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's
yeah. Well, I'll say things to him like, you're the only guy I know that needs a stool to put change in the pop machine,
Oh, there's something about that that service humor. Everyone's the same color. Everyone picks on everybody else.
Yeah.
And
well, the one guy, his name's Mike. That's we call him Mike the Midget. Yeah. I figured you were gonna spit that juice out by the time I said that.
Nope.
So he anyway, Mike was an officer in the Navy.
Okay.
And then the other guy's name's Ty, and he wasn't in the service, but his wife was. So we call him the Marine wife.
Well, yeah. He was the dependent-opotamus.
Yeah. They want to start a podcast, but I'm telling you, we'll be kicked off within the first night. It's such bad off-color humor that it's just, it's not super bad, but the cancel culture would hit us so quick. It would just be.
So 4 of us, me and 3 other dudes, we tested one out. We did a podcast. We called it, how about this? Some of us have gotten larger and some of us didn't. Well,
okay.
Some of us is one guy didn't. And there was initially 5 of us. Well, we called it 4 fat vets and Brian. Brian's the thin guy who hasn't decided to retire yet, but so he's still doing, he's still taking care of himself. And so when we started it, I literally said, look, if you get easily offended, if you don't like dark humor, if you, don't watch this. And we had 6 views.
Yeah.
In 2 hours. Hey, Landon Customs, what's up, man?
Yeah.
So yeah, we just literally put it right out there. Like, this is not family friendly. Don't let your kids listen to any of this. Yeah. And it started off like we were talking about all these days that are holidays. And hey, Mater, you doing your live tonight, Mater? What's this? Well, we got Whiskey Dents just sent me a text. It's a link. I don't know. I'm not clicking that right now. No. I hope he sent it to you too. It's some Facebook link, maybe. But yeah, it's been. What's this? Oh, it's a model. Oh, he said it'd be Model T. I don't have Model Ts. I have Model A's. It's totally different. They're hardly.
I can't fit my leg in a Model T.
What's that?
I can't fit my leg in a Model T.
Model T is a 1-seater for me.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And the shifter is almost between my legs.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the Model A Ford Club here is actually restoring a Model T right now.
Really?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. They're kind of neat little cars, but I tried to fit in it. I couldn't fit in it,
I had a couple of T buckets. They were a lot of fun. Oh, did you see that? Diecast Dreams just said something. said that we were talking, and Foggy just got home. He was telling her how we were talking her up, and she was nearly in tears. You made her be unhappy.
That was because you farted.
Yeah, Vic.
Quit passing gas, Vic.
Oh, Mater, did I schedule my live over yours? Dang it. I like watching yours.
Man.
Jeff's fault, probably.
Yeah. I take all the blame.
Yeah.
I'm never at fault, but I take it.
Well, weren't you in E6 or 7?
Me?
Yeah.
Not E4.
You're in E4?
Yeah. I didn't get to make E5 because I told you I was a bomb assembly guy and Sidewinder assembler.
Yep.
Well, in all that time, it took me almost a year to get where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be down there. So, I lost a year's worth of time just trying to get up to crash and salvage. So,
yep.
Yeah. So I made E4 in my last year there. So I never even got to strike for E5. So
I have been in E5 for 9 years. I just didn't, because I like what I do. I like what I do in the Army.
Yeah.
And if I promoted, I wouldn't be able to do it anymore. So I literally just said no. And then they finally like, okay, look, you have to at least try now before the Army's like, look, promote or go away. So my first, and we get to pick by mileage. Well, and I used my human resources MOS, and I used 50 miles for my home record. There's 0 positions. So I put in a packet. I was number 1 on the list, and I didn't get picked up, of course. And then last year, I was like, I'm going to retire anyway. I don't care. Before the thing even comes out. So I picked statewide, and picked statewide, and used my human resources MOS, and I got selected. So then I called the readiness NC. I was like, look, man, I'm going to retire. I didn't expect it because I was 3rd on the list. And then this time I selected 50 miles, and I used my infantry MOS. I just want to see where I land on the list. I'm not going to get picked up.
Right.
But I just want to see where I land. Hey, Tim said he just ordered some stuff, Jeff.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. He ordered a knuckle butter and one of our pumice liquid soaps.
Yeah.
So thank you, Tim. And he used Honest 10.
Coupon code saves you 10 cents. No. What was it? 10%?
10%.
40%. Somewhere in there. 10%. Between 0 and 100%, somewhere in that.
Saves you somewhere in the middle. Yeah. If you order $50 or more, you get free shipping, and you could save 10% with Honest 10. So you could save that way.
Yeah. And I'm telling you what, those wipes are just stupid good. I don't even care. If someone asks, like, hey, can I use one of those? I'm like, no, use the other ones over there.
Yeah, we're going to, I think this year we're going to work on getting these into the 70 count, because I tried the 20 count, because my idea was, to be honest with you, was I didn't know people would like them that well, because to be honest with you, I was like, okay, it's a white, but I thought, well, this would be something they can throw on their boat. They can throw on their hot rod. If they have a flat tire on the side of the road, they can clean up, on a kart show or whatever. So I was more thinking along the travel kind of a size with the 20 count. But I contacted the manufacturer and we talked, and they're going to start making me a 70 count. Look,
if I could figure out a mount on my wall for like one of those, paper towel things, I'd have that size.
Yeah.
Look, when I ran out and I was doing wheel bearings, I was like, oh no. So I took the lid off and I put the dirty one back in and I shook it up and I used it until there was just nothing left. I was dumping the last juice on there. That thing was just as black as could be. There was nothing else it was going to clean.
Well, I sent you 2 more.
Yep, and I've already started using them.
Yep, and it's I don't think I'm going to have the 70 count in time. So if people want to make a large quantity order on that, I do have wholesale pricing I can sell,
Cool.
at that. So we get I get like, there's a company out in California that orders them. They do roofs, and I guess that glue or goop or whatever they get off. They said this is the only thing that gets them that gets them off. So they order it. They order them by the cases. I just shipped out 2 cases today.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I give them the wholesale pricing because they're ordering such large quantities. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually keep them away from Peyton.
Why?
Because she'll use more than one.
You don't need more than one for sure.
Oh, I know. I mean, I take one out, and then if that little nub comes out a little too far, I'm just jamming that thing back in there so she doesn't grab a hold of that one and try to go for a second one.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I've used it on my frame, the frame rails that they're just got a little grease or whatever. I've wiped them off. I've wiped my hands off. The intake manifold. I mean, anything that's got just grub on it and kind of grease, I just wipe them off after I wipe my hands off. Or yeah. I'll tell you what, I save the used ones for that stuff, because I know okay, I'm going to do those. I've, cleaned my hands, and I'll put them, so they won't dry out, and then wipe down whatever I might need to. And then when those are then nasty, then I use the clean one and clean up my hands. I'm telling you, they last a long time. They don't go dry, even in the container.
Well, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Here. Let's see. This is the headliner for Project America right here. It's in the way. No, you can't see it because my name, not this. But anyway, here's the headliner. Right over there, I got a VP.
My new project.
I've got a VP racing drum, fuel drum, 50-gallon drum that I turned into a sink. And awesome. So what I normally do is I will use these just to get me in the door. I wipe my hands down the shop to get me in the door, and then I come in here and wash my hands there with the the bar or the pumice, liquid pumice. And that liquid pumice, we need to the manufacturer on that. I'm trying to finalize that. I like the product where it's at, but it's buying it in bulk from that manufacturer. We work together to get that built, but that's been a long process because they cannot make it in small enough quantities for me to make sense to purchase it. They want me to buy a whole freaking semi-tractor trailer full of it.
Sure.
So we're still working on that, but
yeah, because I don't think I've tried that. I have, Gojo and Fast Orange in like everybody does in their shop.
Your mouth.
You didn't send me any. Actually, I didn't even know you had the liquid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm too busy with the wipes.
Next time I'll put you some in there.
I'm telling you, people are going to get sick. People are going to boycott the wipes. That's how much I talk about them.
Well,
I mean, if you look behind me in pretty much any shot on the videos, you'll see one, or your hat, or the hat that I got from you.
Yeah.
That I ordered. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
yeah. I'm out of those hats. I need to get some more of those in.
You told me hey, if you want one of these, you're going to have to order it because I got one.
Yeah.
And I think I went on and ordered it right then.
Yeah. I found some the other day, but I think I've only got like 2 left or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Peyton likes wearing that one too out in the shop. Not so much now that it smells, but
yeah, I wouldn't either.
Speaking of that, I'd take my soft cap and put it on her head because I hadn't washed it in years, and she just hated for my uniform because it was just grubby.
Well, I love this one. I got this from Lowe's, man. It's like $9.
$9? That's cheap.
Yeah. I was like, man, I picked that up. I was like, heck yeah.
So, we don't have a Lowe's. We have a Home Depot, but we have a Menards that has hats and clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
And
It was out there by the register. I was like, man, I like that hat. So I said, I'm gonna get that and wear that for my live tonight.
I didn't wear one. It's over there.
Yeah, you look like an angel.
Well,
Like
and the thing is, this
behind
is this is the west side of my house, and this is like dark brown, thick curtains. That's how bright the sun is up here at 8:30 because it's just now coming down.
Well, it's dark as the ace of spades here right now.
Oh yeah, no, it stays light out until almost 10.
Yeah,
but that's because the curvature of the earth and the sun and the angle.
Curvature. Yeah, I didn't know we were allowed to use big words.
Yeah, I mean, I went to college.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you want to?
No, man. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you having me on. Let me come on and tell a few goofy stories. And
this was a good time. I mean, and I hope to keep doing these.
You should
have you come back around. We can maybe as you get close to wanting to reveal stuff on your Project America, you can give a sneak peek like, oh, this is what the door handle looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, that I've been really hiding that hood, trying to hide that hood because
you're doing a good job in the videos of not showing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent you some pictures today, but it had the hood in it, and I was like, man, I'll have to crop them out because it's got the hood showing. Because I'm trying to hide it. So go subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, everybody who's left. Oh, there's just a couple people are just dropping off. Oh, Bill, he's been listening. Oh, Bill's. Hey, I'll tell you what, Jeff. If you haven't checked out Edge of Eternity, Bill Cameron, he's building a tea bucket. He's forming everything from scratch. Gotta check that out.
Where does he live? Where do you live at, Bill? Where are you from? Or are you comfortable saying that on the internet? I don't know. If not, don't worry about it.
He's near the Detroit. He talks about it all the time about how and he works with like robots and stuff. He's a smart guy.
I would love to be able to. That's my next mentor. I'd love to have is somebody that is really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You too, Tim. Thank you. Thanks for the order, by the way. You always are supporting, Tim, and I really appreciate that. Hey, Tim, I tell you what. I'm gonna send you something, Tim, in your package. We just now are testing a non-pumice hand soap bar. It's the same America scent. It's the same degreasing properties, just no pumice in it. I'll send that up for you so you can put that up. I'll send you one in your thing.
Oh, he told you he's about 40 miles from Detroit.
40 miles. Yeah, it's a little too far to be a mentor to teach me to bend metal like that. But maybe one day. I'd love to learn that.
Me too. But Arco is way too busy to do stuff. I mean, he's working.
Arco lives in the North Pole too.
Well, he's only an hour and a half north of me.
I know, but he's still up there where the flies carry you off and the mosquitoes.
Actually, there's a lot of gnats in where he lives.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, all right, brother man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Jeff we'll get you back on here as you get closer to the completion of your project, or anytime you want to come on, really.
Well, I'm reassembling now, and then I've got to put a new floor in the bed, and then I'm done.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can maybe you want to do a live reveal.
Yeah. We might do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks much. This was a blast.
Appreciate
you watching.
Love you. God bless you all. Go to America.
All right.